Remember summer as a kid? The days felt infinite, like time itself stretched to fit every moment. One afternoon could hold bike rides, scraped knees, mango juice, a new game, and a whole imaginary world. But now, a year goes by and we barely notice. Birthdays sneak up, months blur together. It's like life hits fast forward the moment we reach adulthood. And here's the weirdest part. We're not imagining it. Time doesn't actually speed up, but it feels like it does. Why? What's happening in our minds? Can we stop it? Can we stretch time again? Let's slow things down and find out, because the answer will change how you see your own memories. And hey, if you love exploring curious ideas like this, hit subscribe and stay tuned for more mind-bending insights every week. We tend to think of time like a ruler, fixed, predictable, linear. But the brain doesn't have a built-in clock. There's no neuron that ticks off seconds like a stopwatch. Instead, it tracks time by paying attention to change, to novelty. Each time you experience something new, unfamiliar, or emotionally charged, your brain stores a timestamp. Think of a child seeing rain for the first time. That moment, the sound, the smell, the feel of it, gets burned into memory. And because childhood is full of these firsts, first steps, first school, first crush, your brain is constantly logging, storing, reacting. It makes time feel slower because there's so much more to remember. As we grow older, life becomes more familiar. We settle into patterns, same roads, same routines, same coffee, same screens. There's less novelty, less mental recording, and so time speeds up, not because there's less of it, but because we're not really noticing it. Here's a thought experiment. Two people live the exact same day. 8 hours of work, 1 hour of TV, sleep. But one of them tries a new lunch spot, strikes up a conversation with a stranger, and walks home a different route. At the end of the week, who feels like they lived more?
Our perception of time is built on memory density, how many distinct moments we can recall. More memories, more perceived time. Fewer memories, a blur. This is why vacations feel long in hindsight, especially the ones where you explored, and why weeks spent repeating the same routine vanish from your memory entirely. So when we say time is flying, we're really saying, I don't remember much from that stretch of time. We didn't live less. We just remembered less. Let's get mathematical for a moment. When you're 5 years old, a single year is 20% of your life. That's enormous. A year feels massive, and the wait for a birthday feels like forever. At 50, 1 year is only 2% of your life. It feels smaller, less significant. Your brain subconsciously weighs it as just another drop in the ocean. This theory, called logarithmic time perception, explains why decades seem to speed up as we age. From the outside, a year is always a year. But from the inside, our brains experience each one as smaller than the last. It's not just that time is fast, it's that we're measuring it with an ever-shrinking ruler. Time is also elastic. Strong emotions, especially fear and awe, stretch it. Remember your first heartbreak or a moment of danger? Time seemed to freeze. That's because your brain was hyper-aware, soaking in every detail, recording more, slowing down the movie. The same happens in moments of wonder. Standing at the edge of a cliff, watching a meteor shower, holding your child for the first time. These are timeless because you were truly there. On the flip side, emotional numbness or burnout flattens time. When you're on autopilot, your brain records less, and so hours, days, even years pass, barely leaving a trace. We say time flies when you're having fun, but really, time flies when you're not paying attention. Here's the modern twist. Today, we're surrounded by micro-distractions. Notifications, reels, scrolls, pings. Each moment grabs your attention, but none of them stick. We bounce from screen to screen, task to task.
But when we look back at our day, it feels empty. Why? Because the brain can't form strong memories without depth or emotion. Quick dopamine hits don't register as meaningful, so they vanish in hindsight. This creates the illusion of a busy life, but memory, it barely catches anything. The result? We're living faster, but feeling less. And so time slips away unnoticed. Here's the hopeful part. If our experience of time is flexible, then we're not powerless. We can reshape it. You can't slow time itself, but you can slow your experience of it. How? Seek novelty, even in small things. Take the long way home. Learn to cook something strange. Switch your routine, not to be productive, but to be awake. Reclaim your senses. Pause to smell the air before rain. Notice the way sunlight shifts across your room in the afternoon. These tiny details create timestamps in your brain, moments you'll actually remember. Be deliberate. Turn ordinary things into rituals. Lighting a candle before you eat. Journaling one sentence a day. Calling a friend just to listen. These become anchors in your memory and in your perception of time. And if nothing else, just pay attention. When you're present, time doesn't vanish. Because childhood didn't feel long just because we were young. It felt long because we were fully alive. Maybe time doesn't really fly. Maybe we just stopped noticing the wind. Time may slip through our fingers, but we can choose how we fill it. So, what's your most vivid memory that still feels alive no matter how long ago it was? Share it in the comments. And if this video slowed time for you, hit like, subscribe, and join us for more curious explorations with Paperbit.